The Architecture of AI Auditability, Beyond Chat Transcripts. Why chat logs are the single point of failure in AI auditability. The era of AI experimentation officially ended on March 1, 2026. When CNBC released its landmark report on the hallucination tax, the narrative shifted from how much money AI could save to how much liability it was quietly accumulating. The report detailed a surge in unauthorized chatbot refunds and policy violations that have cost the insurance and banking sectors billions in unrecovered revenue and regulatory fines. For most enterprises, the immediate reaction was to check the logs, but they quickly discovered a terrifying reality. A chat transcript is not an audit trail. In a regulated environment, showing a transcript of a LLM saying, "I have processed your refund," is legally insufficient. Regulators from the CFPB to the OCC are now demanding to see the deterministic logic that allowed that action to happen. They don't want to see what the AI said. They want to see the AI auditability, the immutable proof of what the system did, why it was allowed to do it, and the exact state of the workflow at the moment of execution. The illusion of ownership. In our previous exploration, automation didn't remove human error. It removed human ownership. We discussed how moving to 70% automation often creates a responsibility vacuum. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the audit room. Traditional contact center logging was designed for humans. We recorded calls and saved transcripts to monitor soft skills and basic compliance. However, when an AI agent takes an action, like changing a beneficiary on a life insurance policy or waiving a late fee, the soft skills of the transcript are irrelevant. What matters is the control plane. If your AI is operating directly on your core database without an intermediary governor, you aren't just automating service, you are automating a lack of control. 3 pillars of true AI auditability. To survive the 2026 audit cycle, enterprises must move beyond text-based logs and implement a specialized architecture designed for AI auditability. This architecture relies on 3 distinct pillars. 1. The XXX log, identity intent interaction. A chat log tells you the interaction. It tells you what was said, but a compliant audit trace requires the XXX verification, identity. Immutable proof of who the customer is, via MFA or biometric hard gates. Intent, the AI's interpretation of the request, hashed at the moment of understanding. Interaction, the deterministic workflow step that was triggered in response. By hashing these 3 elements into a single event record, you create a decision trace. This allows an auditor to see that the AI didn't just guess the customer wanted a refund. It followed a hard-coded validation path that checked the customer's eligibility against live policy data before the button was ever pressed. 2. Deterministic hard gates. The CNBC report highlighted that most hallucination tax events occur when an AI is given write access to a database with too much latitude. True AI auditability requires that the execution layer is separate from the conversational layer. In this architecture, the AI brain handles the conversation, but when it's time to take a regulated action, it must hand the digital hand over to a deterministic governor. This governor enforces the rules. Is the signature present? Is the KYC current? Is the refund within the $500 limit? If the answer is no, the workflow stops. The audit log then reflects a blocked execution, providing the ultimate proof of governance. 3. State machine logging. Regulators now look for state machine evidence. They want to see the state of the system at Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3. If a customer drops out or if the AI makes an error, the log should show exactly which node of the workflow was active. This level of granularity is what separates a helpful chatbot from a regulated digital utility. From liability to asset, the ROI of governance. We often treat compliance as a cost center, a necessary evil to avoid fines. But in the agentic economy of 2026, AI auditability is actually a massive driver of ROI. When your workflows are fully auditable and deterministic, your false positive rate in fraud detection drops. Your onboarding tax, the time it takes to manually verify new accounts, evaporates. You can move from 20% automation of high-stakes tasks to 90% because you finally have the governor in place to manage the risk. The companies winning the AI war right now aren't the ones with the smartest-sounding bots. They are the ones who have solved the completion gap. They have built a system where every automated action is backed by an immutable regulator-grade decision trace. Step 1. Audit your exposure. If you are currently running AI agents in production and your only record of their behavior is a folder full of .txt transcripts, you are currently accumulating a massive hallucination tax liability that will come due during your next regulatory review. You cannot manage what you cannot prove. Before you scale your next agentic workflow, you need to understand exactly where your execution is probabilistic, guessing, and where it is deterministic, enforced. Stop guessing at your compliance coverage. Take 2 minutes to run a diagnostic on your current system. Use our specialized risk engine to see where your execution gap lies. Calculate your AI risk at codn.colvu.com. Final thoughts. The CNBC report was a warning shot, but it's also an opportunity. For the leaders who move first to implement a completion and compliance layer, the hallucination tax isn't a threat. It's a competitive advantage. By building a foundation of AI auditability, you aren't just checking a compliance box. You are building the infrastructure for the future of the agentic enterprise.